when I saw a black figure sitting on the end of the bed.
Whoa!
It was Rob.
Whoa!
He turned and put his hand on my mouth and went, shh. I said, please don't hurt me.
Whoa! Oh my gosh! What is good, my name is ReboundLeader. Welcome back with another video for today, guys. For today, 3 disturbing true roommate horror stories by Mr. Nightmare. Bro, why is this dude just standing there? He's just standing there in the dark. These type of people you need to stay away from. These type of people you cannot allow in your room, bro. If you have a roommate and you know he's weird, it's best you even try to find a place outside. You know what I'm saying? If you can't do it in the school, try to find a place outside of school. Because I am not going to be sharing rooms with a creep. We already know how many creeps and weirdos there is. Heck no.
Okay.
When shit hit the fan with my parents, I had to move out. I was down on my luck living situation-wise, and I could only crash on the couches of my friends for so long. I was looking on all the roommate and apartment apps and websites, and I found something that caught my eye on this app. A man named Luke had listed a room for rent in his 3-bedroom one.
What app? What app did you go on, bro? Is Craigslist, bro. If you went on Craigslist, if you went on Kijiji, oh my god.
Story house. The rent price was $1,200 a month. He'd basically be my landlord and roommate, as he would also be living in the house.
Interesting.
He made sure to note on the ad that he'd be out of the house most of the time, and that the renter would have the place to themselves often.
Okay.
He did put in all capital letters a few ground rules though, including no parties, no large gatherings, no drinking in the living room, and no use of the basement.
No drinking in the
like pretty standard rules.
Alright.
I went to view the house in person and meet Luke. The second he opened the door, I got a bit of a read on him, that he was a little reclusive. His demeanor was quiet and a little awkward.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem. You're not supposed to be quiet when you're inviting people to be roommates. When you're supposed to be up and, you know, at least welcoming. Quiet and all that. Come on,
Showed
bro.
me the house. I could tell he was nervous because his voice would shake and he would stutter.
Nah.
The bedroom was a good size, and the actual floor plan of the house was good. It was an open layout, meaning the kitchen, living room, and dining room were all one big open space.
Okay.
For $1,000 a month in my area, it was a steal.
Wow.
He laid out some more ground rules in person, and he emphasized again how I can't go in the attic or the basement, as I use them for storage only. Sounded fair enough. On the spot, I told him I'm interested. We shook hands, I left, and 2 days later, I was moving in.
Wow.
We didn't draft any sort of lease or contract. I was just going to be paying him off the books month to month.
What the heck? No contract or anything? That is sus.
First day of every
Not
month.
gonna lie. It could be good,
I
but
had settled in pretty quickly.
it could be pretty sus.
The bedroom I was renting was already furnished with a bed and basic furniture, so all I did really was hang some of my wall decor and fill the dresser and closet with clothes. The
Alright.
bedroom had a lock on it, thankfully, and he gave me the key to it so I could lock it when he wasn't home, which
Wow. Wow. That is a W. It has a lock? That's a
seemed
W.
like a nice gesture, at first. Luke
At
never
first.
told me what he did for work. He just told me he usually wouldn't be home, but I quickly learned that wasn't true.
What?
Anytime I'd come home from work, his car was always in the driveway. Quickly, I started to pick up on loud sounds outside of my bedroom at night.
What the
Footsteps to doors opening and closing constantly. One night, I went out in the middle of the night just to go to the bathroom, and I noticed the basement door was opened.
What?
I walked over to the top of the stairs and looked down. There was a dim light from down there, seemingly from a far corner out of view.
What the
I heard
heck?
banging sounds coming from down there. It was like 2 a.m. What could he be doing down
2
there?
a.m.? What is there to do at 2 a.m. to be in the basement, bro? It's almost 3 a.m. You know those are clucked hours. You better get out of this place, bro. You had no contract? Leave. Quickly, quietly, move all your stuff into the car and leave.
Then the bangs stopped, and Luke appeared at the bottom of the stairs and looked up at me. It was so creepy that describing it in words doesn't do it justice.
Wow.
He looked visibly annoyed as he looked up at me. I apologized and said I'm just going to the bathroom. He almost angrily responded, "Shut the basement door." I
Wow.
listened to him, insanely weirded out. I went to the bathroom and then back to bed.
Creepy.
I laid awake for a while after that, now with
Weird.
my mind racing, wondering what he's doing.
He's a psychopath.
About a week later, I returned home and noticed my bedroom door was unlocked.
What?
I always locked it before leaving every day. I looked around my room to see if
He had a spare key.
Oh no, how terrible. That's just...
and while nothing seemed to be missing, I noticed some things had been moved. For starters, my clothes in the dressers were not neatly stacked anymore. They had been looked through, I could tell.
Oh, wow.
The closet door was also cracked open.
He didn't even make
It was dawning on me that he had his own key, and he likely came into my room and went through my stuff.
Crazy.
This felt like a clear invasion of privacy and a violation of my tenant rights.
Yup.
I had to figure out how to confront him about it.
Yup.
I went to knock on his bedroom door, but he didn't answer.
Crazy.
His car was in the driveway once again, so he had to be home. I was getting such weird vibes from all of this.
This is
I
weird.
gave up and went back to my room after microwaving my dinner. While I was in my room relaxing and watching TV, I heard the door to Luke's room open. I took this opportunity to get up and confront him, so I went out to the living room and caught him in a hurry about to leave the house.
Wow.
I stopped him and asked if he went into my room. He looked at me with a blank expression and straight up said no.
Wow.
I delicately responded without being hostile, saying that the door was unlocked and some of my stuff appeared to have been gone through. He then claimed that I had the only key to my bedroom, and then he said he's in a hurry, he has to go, and he left. I was flabbergasted by all
Crazy.
this. I wanted to ask my parents for advice, but at that time I hated them and wanted nothing to do with them.
You hated them. You wish you were back home rent-free with fresh hot meal on the table, bro. You better reconcile with your parents and get back in that house, bro. It's not worth the fighting. It's not worth the bickering. You guys have to come to a conclusion. You'll have to come to an agreement. You hated your parents at that time? That's crazy. Hate is a strong word, bro. Sometimes me and my parents, we don't disagree. We don't agree on everything. But I will never say I hate my parents, bro. Hate is like murder in the sight of God, literally. And you gotta respect your parents, regardless. You feel me?
I was already back on the apps and websites
That's
looking
crazy,
up other
bro.
listings. I knew I didn't want to stay here.
Yo.
Then I realized this was the first apparent time that Luke wasn't home while I was.
That's true.
Curiosity got the better of me, and I had to check out the basement.
Okay.
I checked out the windows first to make sure his car was gone, and it was. I then went over to open the basement door.
Oh no.
Oddly enough, I couldn't find any light switches, so I just used the flashlight on my phone to
Oh,
navigate
this is not
around.
good, bro.
The steps were so creaky, I felt like I was in an abandoned house.
This is not good.
I got to the bottom, and there was a tan carpet that was curling upwards at the walls as if it were poorly fitted to the floor. It was a very small basement, at least the main room. There was just this one ugly couch in the middle of the room. There was also a slightly funky smell down there, and the smell only got worse as I got closer to this
Dead bodies. He is a psychopathic murderer. If you do not leave this place as soon as possible.
door in the corner. I attempted to open the door, but unfortunately it was locked.
Wow.
Maybe I should say fortunately, because I'm not sure I fully wanted to know what was in there.
No,
emitting
you
that
don't.
Smell.
You'll get scarred.
It almost smelled like raw sewage, but worse. I
What?
did one little quick sweep around the main room of the basement though, and I found nothing.
What in the
Just some
world?
taped up cardboard boxes, which I was not going to open.
Oh, wow.
I went back upstairs and shut the door. The rest of that night, I stayed in my room. I never heard Luke come back. He must have gotten back after I had fallen asleep. I woke up. The room was still dark. My alarm was not going off. Something else had woken me up.
What?
Experience medieval times, a world of excitement, adventure, and wonder.
I heard the floor next to my bed crack.
What?
I turned and saw Luke leaning over my bed, looking at me. I screamed, and he replied to me to
What the heck? Who is this dude? Whoa! This man needs help, bro. He is a killer. He is looking over you while you're sleeping. That is not a good sign by any means necessary. No excuse given. Call the police. Bro. Police! You bet. What would y'all do in that situation? What would y'all do? He could have killed you in your sleep. That's a crazy way to go. Oh, man.
shush, and then asked me if I went into the basement. I screamed, "No, how did you get in here? I locked the door." He then asked me, "Are you sure?" I
Wow.
flipped the cards on him and yelled, "Did you come into this room when I wasn't home?" He replied no. Then he turned around and walked toward the door. I asked, "How did you get in here then?" I saw him hold up his hand in the dark. He wasn't holding anything. At the time, I didn't know what it meant. He said to me before leaving the room, "I think you should find other living arrangements." And then he closed the door. I started packing my shit right then and there. I wasn't staying another minute in that house.
That's crazy.
I knocked on his door and yelled at him to give me half of the rent money back since I'd only been there like 2 weeks. Moments later.
2 weeks? It's only been 2 weeks and this is happening? You know this is a sign by God, bro. You know you've been given signs by the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ to get the heck out of that house. For the love of God! For the love of God!
Opened the door, and just his arm stuck out from the door, holding a small stack of $100 bills. He managed to make even handing me the money insanely creepy.
Wow.
I grabbed it. It was only $400. Whatever. It was
cares?
close enough. I just wanted to get out of there.
Who cares?
I was fully packed and out of there within an hour.
Good.
I slept in my car that night. I ended up back in my parents' house the next day. And
Good.
after explaining the ludicrous shit I just went through,
Wow.
something changed where they were more welcoming to have me back. I still moved out a month later, but my parents and I are fine now.
Amen.
If you're choosing to have a random roommate from online, just be careful and use your best judgment after meeting them.
Amen to that.
It was my junior year of college. I had moved off campus into a student apartment building. My roommate was sort of assigned to me by the school, in the sense that he was just someone else who needed someone to live with. His name was David, and he seemed like a nice guy at first. He was friendly and polite, always smiling and making small talk. But as the days went by, I started to notice strange things about him. Little quirks and odd behaviors that made me feel uneasy. It started with the way David would always linger in my room.
Whoa!
Pushy questions about my personal life and poking around my belongings as if he were way too comfortable doing so. At first, I brushed it off as harmless curiosity, even if I found it kinda weird. But the more I thought about it, the more it bothered me.
Alright.
Then there were the sounds I would hear coming from David's room late at night.
Oh no.
Talking and shuffling noises that were slightly concerning.
Yo.
I tried to ignore them,
Please tell me that your room door is locked, bro. He has a lock on it, please.
telling myself it was just David watching TV or talking on the phone. But deep down, I knew something wasn't right. One night, unable to sleep because of the strange noises coming from David's room, I decided to investigate. I crept silently down the hallway and pressed my ear against David's door, straining to hear what was going on inside. What I heard was just weird. It was the sound of David whispering to himself.
What? Bro, he's not whispering to himself, bro. He's talking to someone. It's either he's talking to someone in that room, or, you know, the second option. It's what I always say. Yeah, you guys might be pissed, but I don't care. He's talking to demons! He's talking to demons. Demons. Yeah, he's psychotic in his head. So I would suggest you move out immediately and don't even think twice.
His voice low and muffled. And then, just as suddenly as it had started, the whisper stopped, and there was nothing but silence.
Oh no.
Then I heard, "Jeff?" David said my name. Did he somehow know I was outside his door? I quickly and quietly tiptoed away from his door and back to my room. I silently crawled back into my bed. I didn't know what to make of this. Why was David talking to himself? Was he hiding something from me?
Nah.
Or was he sleepwalking?
What? If you was sleepwalking, you would have been screwed regardless. Hiding what? He's talking to demons. What other proof do you need? Leave the vicinity.
How did he know I was outside of his room?
Oh, the demons told
Couldn't
him.
shake the feeling of uneasiness. The next day, I kept thinking about the night before. As the days went by and the sounds from David's room persisted, my paranoia only grew worse. I couldn't shake the feeling that David was hiding something from me.
No, really.
David's behavior also became stranger. I started to notice little subtle changes in his behavior, like he would make strange glances at me, and his movements seemed a little
8 Sleep Pod Cover. It's a liquid-cooled mattress topper that is clinically proven to give you better sleep. So let me tell you.
a little furtive. One night, I woke up at some off hour in the night and heard David's whispering voice from outside in the hallway.
Oh no.
Like right outside my door.
What?
It was genuinely freaking me out.
Yo!
And I was wondering if he was sleepwalking. I went to the door and put my ear up against it. And like last time, the whispering stopped.
Yo, this is not okay. This is not normal. He's right outside your door, whispering. Bro, the demons are telling him to kill you. Don't you see? Don't you see? Oh man, you are so lucky.
David once again said, "Jeff?"
Oh, no.
This time I replied and said, "Yeah, you good?" He didn't respond. I just heard his footsteps walk away to his room.
Yeah.
The following night, I woke up to the sound of my bedroom door closing. I heard David's footsteps walking away in the hallway.
What?
This was getting out of hand. The next day, I decided to confront him about his potential sleepwalking. I told him I'd been hearing him walking around late at night and heard him close my door last night. I then asked him if he has ever been known to sleepwalk or have any kind of sleeping disorders. He seemed to not know how to answer at first, but then he said yes, he does tend to sleepwalk sometimes. I wasn't buying it though. Something was up. I decided to search David's room for answers. I knew it was risky, but I couldn't ignore the nagging feeling that something was wrong. I waited until David was out of the apartment, then I crept into his room. I knew that I might not have much time, so I searched quickly, tearing through drawers and closets in search of anything that might explain David's nightly strange behavior. And then, just as I was about to give up, I found it. A small, nondescript drawer hidden at the back of David's closet. I pulled it open, and my blood ran cold at what I found inside. It was a collection of photographs, dozens of them, mostly featuring me asleep and one other guy who looked to be our age, all mixed together.
Whoa! Whoa! What? Bro, call the police! Police! Help! Call the police!
Were taken from different angles and distances, some of them so close up that I could see the pores on my skin and individual strands of hair on my head. I felt sick to my stomach as I realized what I was looking at.
Crazy.
David had been secretly taking pictures of me while I slept without my knowledge or consent.
That's nuts. This dude is one of those sick Hollywood type photographers. You know those ones, those weird ones. He's like one of those photographers from Life is Strange, that weird teacher. He's like that dude.
Couldn't believe it. I had been living with some kind of sick voyeur. Like he probably got off somehow to these pictures.
Yep.
He had been violating my privacy and invading my personal space for who knows how long.
Crazy.
I wanted to confront David, to demand answers. But I was afraid of what he might do. Afraid of what he might say. Afraid of what might happen if I confronted him alone.
Man.
So I took a picture of the contents of the drawer, and then took a handful of the photos as evidence to use against David.
What?
I packed my things, and the next day, I showed the photos to the department in charge of student housing accommodations. And they told me to let them take the appropriate action. I was lucky and got assigned to a different apartment with a normal person who needed a roommate.
Oh, thank God.
I never spoke to David again. Even now, years later, I still can't shake the memory of those chilling photographs, and David's whispering and creeping around at night.
Crazy.
I never found out who the other guy in the photos was. It was definitely his old roommate, but I was never able to find his name. But who knows? Maybe he also found out.
Wow. Why didn't you call the police?
When I was 23, I had to move out of state for work. I still work with the company, but I've been able to move back to my hometown and work at the local office here. But at the time, I needed somewhere to live that wouldn't be bank breaking. I made a posting on basically all the websites for a roommate: Facebook, Craigslist, Twitter, and even on my neighborhood subreddit. I had a guy named Rob reach out to me on Facebook stating he has a room available in his place. I looked at his pictures to see if he looked like a somewhat normal guy, and he did. I was open to the idea of having a male roommate, as long as they seemed normal, even though my parents were very against it. Rob and I FaceTimed, during which he gave me a virtual tour of the place. Apparently he owned the place outright. It was a modest house in the middle of town, only a 10-minute drive from where my office would be. He also seemed pretty nice. I didn't get any bad vibes at all. His price was fair, and his rules were pretty fair too. He said it was available
Bro, what is this dude watching on this screen, bro? What type of algorithm is this? Come on, man.
Move in right away, which was perfect. So it was settled. A week later, I had all my things packed and drove down. I met Rob right out front of the house, where he greeted me and handed me a key. The first thing I noticed about him was he was really short. He was eye level with me.
Wow.
He helped me bring some of the bigger and heavier bags inside. He showed...
you said he's short. You said he's really short and he was eye level with you. What does that even mean? That means you're short as well. Am I tripping?
Me my room, which was furnished already. He said one of his friends had been living there and recently moved out. I replaced all the pillows and bed sheets with my own, of course. The rest of that day was me settling in. Rob, I could see, was trying to get to know me and presumably make me feel at home.
Yeah.
I didn't get any overly friendly vibes yet. The next day was Sunday. Rob offered to drive me around town to show me around. I wasn't eager to, but I said sure, just to get off on a good start with him. He drove us around town, showing me where the good shopping centers are, good restaurants, and stuff like that. But then he offered to get us lunch. I really wasn't hungry, and he was suggesting a sit-down lunch, almost like a date. I didn't want him to get any kind of wrong idea.
Wait, what? What the heck? Yo, someone get this leprechaun the heck out of here.
I just needed a room.
Get this
I
midget
said
out
I'm
of
not
here.
hungry, and then he right away suggested we go grab drinks somewhere instead. I politely shot it down too,
Is the
saying I
man
don't
gay?
drink on work nights.
Like what?
He was being a bit pushy, saying, come on, just a couple drinks. I still maintained my politeness and said another time. He gave up, and he went really quiet all of a sudden, like he was upset. I'll admit, I was slightly uncomfortable, but nothing I couldn't handle yet.
Yeah.
That week was my first week at work, and so my attention was focused mostly on adjusting to the work week. It wasn't until a few days into the week that I got home and did my laundry and noticed my hamper full of clothes seemed moved. Like the clothes weren't how I remembered they were left.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I was loading the washing machine that I noticed a pair of my underwear was missing. I checked my room top to bottom like 5 times. It was gone. I had a disturbing thought. What if Rob... No. I refused to believe that just yet.
Oh, you refused to believe that, but this dude, you felt like this dude was flirting with you? Grabbing drinks with you? This psychotic man that see a midget gone the extra mile to get what he wants, bro. He is sniffing your underwear, and if there's any brown stains, he likes it. Imagine that. Oh my, he likes smelling the brown stains.
There was no chance in hell I would confront him and ask him that. Still, I was now starting to wish there was a lock on the bedroom door. That weekend, I bought a lockable doorknob from Ace Hardware, and while Rob wasn't home, I swapped out the current doorknob with the new one. Now I could leave the place in peace. I figured I'd tell Rob the next time I saw him. He didn't come home that night, though. He must have been working. His schedule seemed pretty random. That night, I awoke to banging on my bedroom door. It was Rob. He was saying my name, and he didn't sound happy.
Whoa.
I checked the time, and it was like 1:30 in the morning.
Whoa.
I decided I would pretend I'm asleep. I was honestly kind of scared to open the door. I had a feeling it had to do with the doorknob.
You can't pretend.
right.
You can't pretend that you're going to sleep if you hear banging like that, bro. You're not a heavy sleeper like that. Get out of here. You can't convince him. Stop.
The next morning,
Stop
I woke
playing.
up to a bunch of texts from Rob saying, we need to talk. Be home after work. I simply responded, is this about the doorknob? And he responded back, yes. I apologized to him and said I was planning on telling him. He replied back, it comes off today. I was getting incredibly nasty and weird vibes from his tone.
Wow.
My next response I thought out a little longer, and basically said how I hope he can sympathize and understand that I'm a girl, and I just feel safer being able to have privacy in my room.
Oh.
He responded,
Oh, I'm so stupid. Oh my goodness, I'm so dumb. I thought it was 2 men, but it's a man and a girl. The girl is the one that just moved in. Okay, yeah, now this is getting a lot more creepier. So it is a guy that stole your underwear, that is sniffing your brown stains. That is crazy. Yo, now this got a lot more creepier, bro.
a little nicer this time, but he still basically said no
Still
to my
very
request
creepy if it
and
was
that
a
the
guy,
old
bro.
doorknob needs to go back on. I was confused, I was upset, but I had to respect his rules.
Wow.
I did also install it without telling him, so I felt like he had a right to be kind of mad. But how did he know I changed it? It's not like I had the old doorknob sitting out in the open.
Yeah.
The idea that he tried coming into my room that night kind of scared me. I changed the doorknob back the next day and returned to Ace. This is where things went really downhill though. There was a knock at the door one day when Rob wasn't home. It was a girl around my age. She asked me if I was living here with Rob, and I said yes. She warned me to get out of there immediately, that Rob has multiple restraining orders against him from different...
What? Oh, you better listen to that female immediately, bro. Wow, it makes sense now. He's a short midget dude that is eye level with you, cause you know, usually girls are pretty short. Literally having restraining orders. Yeah, he's a weirdo, bro. Do you know what I thought about immediately when I heard midget? and then he's doing this, I thought about Mad Hatter, like that villain from the villain from Batman. You know what I'm saying? The villain from Gotham, the Mad Hatter. He reminds me exactly like this dude. He's looking, he's searching for his Alice. He's searching for his Alice, bro. Oh nah, bro. You are his next victim, bro.
Very dangerous, creepy stalker.
Crazy.
I was at a loss for words.
Mad.
I asked her how she knew I was here. She said she knew that he was trying to rent his room, and that it's not surprising he opted to have a girl move in. She said she saw me moving in and wanted to wait till he wasn't home to come warn me.
Nuts.
I thanked her so much. I truly was terrified now. I had already paid Rob for the entire month. I didn't know what to do. She said she would help me in any way she could.
Move
I
out.
took her number and she left.
Call the police.
I started packing my things and looking for other places I could move to. I found something across town, a studio apartment sublet for a little more money. I contacted the poster of the ad, and she told me I could move in as soon as possible. Perfect. Now I just needed to tell Rob and get my money back. I started packing some of my stuff into my car, and I texted him that I'd have to be moving out tomorrow, as something with my family came up and I needed to go home.
Why would you even say that? There's no need for you to explain. Just leave, then text him when you get to your new place. Don't need to text him while you're... Nah, bruh.
Home. He didn't answer. He got back to the house about an hour later and asked me about my text. I came up with my best fake story possible, and he said yeah, he'll give me the money back tomorrow after he goes to the bank.
Crazy.
I was super relieved. About an hour later, he knocked on my door and then said, "Did by some chance some girl say something to you?" I simply said, "No, what do you mean?" And he said, "Never mind. It just seems like you're running away out of here for another reason." I insisted that it was purely because of the family reasons. He said okay and left.
Nah.
Sadly, the story didn't end there.
What?
I woke up that night and screamed at the top of my lungs when I saw a black figure sitting on the end of the bed.
Whoa!
It was Rob.
Whoa!
He turned and put his hand on my mouth and went, "Shh." I said, "Please don't hurt me."
Whoa! Oh my gosh! Yo, get this dude, bro! Oh my, yo. Why did you even try to sleep there that night, bro? You should have never said anything. You should have never said anything. You should have acted like it was nothing was happening. And then when you move out, then you text. You don't text saying I'm gonna move out soon and then
Responded, "Why would I hurt you? I knew someone said something to you. Don't believe what these girls say." I said, "You're scaring me," and this part is still just as insane to me as it was in that moment. He started to caress my leg, and he said, "I don't mean to scare you," right after I said he's scaring me.
Wow.
I got out of the bed and ran for the door, and he screamed at me to stop. I ran outside with my phone in hand and called the police. I hid in the bush until they showed up, and I explained the entire situation to them. They made Rob come outside and give his side of the story. Basically, I told them I just want to get all my stuff out of the room and I'm leaving. So the cops stayed there as I collected the remainder of my stuff and brought it all to my car. I also insisted on Rob Venmoing me the money back while the police were there, and he did so actually. The whole time the police were there, he tried his best to act like some normal dude, I could tell.
Crazy.
One of the officers then pulled me to the side to tell me that this guy had been arrested before for other incidents with women.
Yup.
But Rob denied ever coming in my room or...
Bro, what are these police officers doing? Arrest the man. He has been arrested before. Arrest him and let him rot in jail for the rest of his natural life, bro.
or touching me or anything. So it was all he said, she said. I left the house and went straight to a hotel for the night.
Wait, what?
The next day,
Wait, hold up.
Pulled me to the side to tell me that this guy had been arrested before for other incidents with women. But Rob denied ever coming in my room or touching me or anything. So it was all he said, she said. I left the house and went straight to a hotel for the night. The next day, I moved into the studio apartment. Luckily, the girl who posted it was able to facilitate my quick move-in. I have never and will never live with another man who's not my boyfriend or husband ever again.
Good.
Or just anyone I don't know for that matter.
Good. Good. You shouldn't. You shouldn't. Even with a female, because some females be crazy, man. But like, wow. Did I just see the police just let this dude go scot-free? Did I just witness that right now? Bro, these police officers, man, I don't understand, bro. They be so, like, there's some police officers that are so good at their job, but there's some that are just so trash. You know that he's been charged before. Why let him go again? The woman is scared. She's saying this happened. Are you gonna really believe his story? Come on, bro. Stop this nonsense. This is disgusting. How dare this midget of a man, leprechaun, Mad Hatter of a man do something like this? People are weird. Anywho, I'll catch you guys later. Take care. God bless y'all. Yeah, man, you gotta be careful when you get these roommates, man. Always think it through. Don't be so desperate. Seriously. If you see anything, if there's a slight awkwardness or weird feeling, you better be on high alert. And if you see something else happening, move out without telling him. Who cares? It's not worth your life. Catch you guys later. Take care. God bless. Peace.
You win. Perfect.